are the Californian businesses and people relocating to Mexico. In what some are calling the California Exodus in 2021, more than 360,000 individuals departed California, with many of them moving to areas like Texas, Arizona, and Washington. Additionally, a growing number of former Californians are leaving the country entirely and moving south of the border. Many people go to Mexico in search of a more laid-back and inexpensive lifestyle. Let's see. California consistently ranks as one of the most expensive states to live in the nation. Only 25% of Californian families could afford the median asking price of $797,470 for a home in the fourth quarter of 2021. For more than 30 years, California's population growth has been slowing. However, such tendencies have intensified as a result of the increase in distant labor brought on by the COVID-19 epidemic. The major reason behind people moving to California is that in a post-pandemic world, people get to work from anywhere, and that makes it possible for Californians to work from Mexico, where they can spend less. Also, there are many Californians who live in Mexico and commute to work in California. The ease of transport and cultural familiarity make things easy. Suddenly, the cost of taxes, the crime rates, the politics, all the things that people are unhappy with within California are coming down to Mexico. Daryl Graham of Badjo 123 Real Estate Group told CNBC. For many years, California has ranked among the states with the highest cost of living. Only 25% of Californian households, or $797,470, could, according to CNBC, afford the median asking price for a home in the state in the fourth quarter of 2021. California is still the most populous U.S. state, with an estimated 39,185,605 citizens as of the end of the year, placing it far ahead of Texas, which came in second with 29.5 million people. But after years of rapid expansion brought California perilously near to the 40 million mark, this year's decline of 117,552 residents brought the state's population approximately back to where it was in 2016. In 2020, Travis Grossi relocated to Mexico. When he relocated, his rent was virtually cut in half, but his apartment size more than doubled. However, the tendency has started a gentrification process that is pricing out local Mexican people who aren't paid in U.S. dollars, even while life is pleasant for California expats residing in Mexico. According to Ariel Ruiz Soto, a policy analyst at the Migration Policy Institute, certain neighborhoods are now becoming too expensive for Mexican citizens to live in because most of the people buying real estate developments do so because they either earn money in U.S. dollars or work from home. California was a promised country full of opportunity in the 1980s, and everyone yearned to try their luck there. People thought that California held the promise of a better life, from Hollywood to Silicon Valley. However, Californians are currently fleeing the state like it's a sinking ship. What has changed then? One of the primary causes of individuals leaving California is the state's high taxes. The highest income tax rate in the nation is 13.3% in California. It doesn't get much better when you look at the sales tax, which ranges from 7.25% to 10.75%. For extremely wealthy people with yearly incomes over $50 million, the proposed wealth tax makes the situation exceptionally difficult. The high expense of living in California is another factor in individuals leaving. Despite being one of the most costly states, Californians just cannot keep up. People desire a stress-free lifestyle in an environment where they can generate income, and California is no longer able to guarantee it. Just have a look at the numbers, not to sound fanciful. In California, rent costs are 276% more than in Mexico City. Is that not absurd? Why should you overpay even if you have money? The high expense of living in California is another factor in individuals leaving. Despite being one of the most costly states, Californians just cannot keep up. People desire a stress-free lifestyle in an environment where they can generate income, and California is no longer able to guarantee it. Just have a look at the numbers, not to sound fanciful. In California, rent costs are 276% more than in Mexico City. Is that not absurd? Why should you overpay even if you have money? You won't be surprised to learn that California has been experiencing a severe housing problem over the past few years. When many individuals shifted to remote employment during COVID-19 and departed large cities like San Francisco, the situation deteriorated. Apartment rents in suburban regions soared as a result. Renting an apartment in California is challenging, and it's nearly impossible to purchase real estate for less than $1 million, especially in San Clemente or Orange County. The typical house value in California is currently $898,980, an increase of 10% from 2021, and we think it will keep expanding. Though it still has a reputation as the promised land, is living in California really that great? California was only ranked as the 48th greatest place to live in the U.S. in one recent research. In addition to having the poorest infrastructure and educational system, California also has a higher-than-average crime rate. Southern Californians are particularly hard hit by the U.S.'s sky-high inflation rate. Since Southern California has the highest dining and lodging costs in the nation, company owners, entrepreneurs, and affluent individuals are searching for alternatives, and it's the appropriate strategy. Why suffer the effects of inflation when you can simply leave? The concept caught on, and now hundreds of Californians are leaving. In Texas, Arizona, Nevada, and New York, some people are moving. Some people are even moving one step further and are even traveling to the southern border. Given the numerous benefits Mexico provides, it is understandable why people would want to leave California in search of a better life. Ironically, Mexico has always been right in front of them. They only needed a little prodding to see how wonderful this nation is. But what exactly is it about Mexico that is so appealing? Why do Californians relocate there rather than to other states? So, these are the primary causes. People mostly go to Mexico in search of a more inexpensive lifestyle for themselves and their children. People leaving California are used to Mexico's stunning natural beauty and the ideal Southern California weather. It's always warm and bright in Mexico, no matter where you choose to live. There are several cities in Mexico where you may live comfortably. You can think about relocating to Mexico City if you prefer a vibrant and active lifestyle. It is now time to discuss taxes. Your circumstances will be the only factor in determining how much tax you'll pay in Mexico. The good news is that both Mexico's real estate taxes and wealth tax are absent from that country. Given that the cost of a home is $65,000 on average in Mexico, we can certainly declare that this is an excellent moment to invest in Mexican real estate. Though haste, experts predict an increase in pricing. Manufacturing activities have been nearshoring to Mexico for many years by U.S. corporations. Some are attracted by the large market potential, but many are more motivated by the opportunity to save money and remain competitive. Here are 5 well-known U.S. businesses operating in Mexico today. Many U.S. firms are considering exporting all or a portion of their production activities due to the fierce competition from foreign rivals. When done correctly, this reduces expenses without impairing quality, flexibility, or inventory. Done without appropriate research or backing, it may hurt the quality of the final product, how it is delivered, and how well customers are treated. Many people associate offshoring with Asia. There is no question that the low labor costs are alluring at first glance, but further study frequently paints a different image. Mexico frequently comes out ahead when productivity, salary, transportation expenses, and the availability of trained workers are taken into account. This is the rationale behind the nearshoring of numerous U.S. manufacturers to Mexico. The commercial relationship between the U.S. and Mexico is at its best point in history because of NAFTA and the current USMCA accords. Additionally, the federal government is very pro-business. With the help of the states, consider the expansion of technical colleges and other institutions within some of the main industry clusters as proof. As an illustration, consider the Aeronautic University of Querétaro, which is located in the city's aerospace hub. Both big and small U.S. firms are welcome in Mexico. However, we'll talk about some of the bigger American businesses operating in Mexico today, so that we may utilize familiar names. Since 1970, the Minnesota-based maker of medical devices, Medtronic, has operated in Mexico. They currently employ over 12,000 Mexicans across 6 plants, one of which is a sizable facility in Tijuana, Baja California. Molex, a well-known producer of cable connection systems, operates a plant near the electronics hub in Guadalajara, Jalisco. They manufacture a wide range of sophisticated electrical and fiber optic connector equipment here. Since the 1960s, General Motors has operated 4 production facilities in Mexico. Thus, Mexico, with its easy life, low cost of living, better climate, and taxation system, becomes the favorite for Californian people and businesses to migrate. What do you think about this migration? Is this short-term or will it continue? Let us know in the comments below. Also, subscribe for more content like this. See ya.